Yup, that's exactly what it looks like. That's a deck list for every single leader for Set 2 of Dragon Ball Super Fusion World in the digital app. And today I'll be going over each of these deck lists, breaking them down, and sharing my honest thoughts and recommendations on them. This video will be timestamped, so be sure to save it so you can come back to it whenever you want and check out that deck list for your preferred leader. And if you want, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on quality packed content like this. We're currently on our way to 1,000 subs, and I would be so stoked to have you be a part of the journey. Now, with all that out of the way, let's jump into our first deck, and that's our starter deck, Son Goku. Now, this is the deck list. The bottom two cards that are being cut off is a Glimpse of Hidden Arrogance. I believe that's what the name of this card is. There's two of them. And on top of that, this is the rest of the deck list. So I'd recommend pausing here, screenshotting it if you want. And yeah, we're going to jump right into this deck list and talk about it real quick. So we have our 1-drop Whis, and this is very good to counter the current meta of ToPku. I don't know if you've noticed this, but that thing is running amok. And with this Whis, it really helps get rid of our next card in this list, which a lot of ToPku decks are running, is the 1-drop Self-Awakening Master Roshi. So that just helps with that. On top of that, we have Hit here, as well as the Khalifa 2-drops. I think both of them are good to help with you Self-Awaken, but also Hit. Not a lot of decks are running this anymore, not as much as it was being run in Set 1. And I think it's still very valuable, especially with that minus 5k that you can tack on to a Master Roshi and remove that from the board. We have our 2-drop Son Goku that gets a nice buff. And I'm also throwing in the 3-drop Hail, the 35k combo, because with this leader's ability, you can easily swing for 40k and make your opponents waste a super combo and another card from their hand. Staple cards from Set 2 that are just insane cards. We have Android 17. And we have the 3-drop Son Gohan. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about what these cards do. I'm going to assume you guys can go into it and read it, but I will talk about the synergies and why they're good, right? This is a helpful Self-Awakener, but on top of that, it reduces an opponent's battle card by 15k. It's just so good. And this, if your leader is awakened, you have a 25k battle leader to swing with. I was about to say battle card. It's pretty strong, right? Then we have the 3-drop Son Goku 25k crit. We have 4 Khalifa, just because this really synergizes with any of these 3 cards. What else? Actually, this one too. Any of these 4 cards, really. We have this guy mainly for combo, also Self-Awakening if we need to. Maybe even to swing, but essentially the first 2 are what it's really going to be used for. And then we have this new promo card that becomes a 40k swing if your leader's awakened. Actually 45 if you want to use the ability. Another nice little splash card we're throwing in here is the 5-drop Khalifa that synergizes with your 3-drop Kale for some insane shenanigans. We have 2 double strikers. We're going with this super combo just because, you know, let's flex on them a little bit. We got the Universe 6 Kaba super card. And then again, the 2 cards is Tournament of Power, because why not? This helps you keep the cards in your hand for combo power later. And then now you can use a 5k combo right on the board with this field card or your own leader's ability being on your turn or your opponent's turn. So they synergize really well. And then we have this stupid extra card, which is like ToPku already is like so broken, right? But just adding this card into it, like I just want to talk to who came up with that. I just want to talk to who came up with this card. I really want to pick their brain. Anyway, so you get to choose your leader or a battle card, give them 25k power for the battle. Then if they go over 30k, which they definitely will unless they have 0, right? Like the wording on this card is just silly. Just say, and then you get this, right? Like there's no reason why it wouldn't happen. Anyway, add up to 1 battle card with a cost of 4 or less from your drop. So you could instantly grab a card with 10k combo, further increase your combo, or you can grab a Khalifa, like literally whatever you want. Khalifa, this guy for 40k, you go crazy. Go crazy. Pretty solid deck, honestly. As far as rankings, These are 3 decks that I was toying with and practicing. But as far as rankings, I'm going to make another video, a tier list video will be coming out soon. So be on the lookout for that. Another reason to possibly subscribe to the channel. All right, now let's check out this one, the Universe 7. Screenshot the right here or pause it for the deck list. And now we're going to be going into the actual deck. The leader, as soon as they're awakened, boosts all your Universe 7 cards by 5k. We have the 1-drop Whis to counter ToPku. We have our Self-Awakener. And then we have this amazing card right here. This is literally Tien, but on crack. Tien already is really great with this leader because once you're awakened, you play a 1-drop 20k swing. Insane, right? But now let's look at this guy. If your leader is awakened, this card gets 5k extra on your turn. So let's just say our leader's awakened, you play it, that's 20k. Except it's also Universe 7. So you're getting a 25k swing, 1-drop. Insane. Like, such a good card. We have our hit here, our 2-drop Krillin Self-Awakener. We're actually throwing in this card here. Really good to neg a 20k battle card on your opponent's side of the field. Let's say those Tournament of Power 3-drop Son Gohans that neg 15 on your side. Yeah, now we gotta remove that off the board. Because on here, their ability gives them 25k, but only on the opponent's turn or your turn if you're playing it. So when you're playing this card, you can actually just completely destroy it, even if it was 25k on their turn. We have our Android 17 because this card is just crazy. It turns your leader into a 25k boss. Caulifla to synergize essentially with just these 2 cards. It just gets a lot of value out, just 2 bodies for no reason, and you draw. We have 2 5-drop Beerus to board wipe ToPku. Hopefully, if you go second, save that energy marker. It's definitely going to come in handy. We have our double striker because, let's be honest, a double striker into the ToPku meta, just get them down to at least 2 energy and put everything you have, maybe even a glimpse of hidden arrogance, and you're cooking, hopefully, right? It's just that's the hope. ToPku's just crazy. And speaking of ToPku, let's talk about, I think ToPku next. Yeah, let's go for it. Here we go. This is the deck. Pause it here, screenshot it. This one I think got me 8 wins in a row. I lost to another ToPku mirror. Surprise there. I just horrible draws, but I don't want to say that's the reason. Anyway, I think we can just, yeah, we can go into this because there's a specific card I really want to talk about. We have our Self-Awakener here. Basil, which helps you search. Now, one thing I would recommend is on turn 1, play your Piccolos, right? Maybe even play your Master Roshis. I'd hold off on Master Roshi, to be honest. But you want to hold off on Basil. There's no point in playing Basil and drawing your Caulifla or whatever if you can't actually play it the following turn. I like to wait until I get pretty close to Awakening, then I'll search for my deck. Otherwise, I don't want to whiff and put things on the bottom of my deck if they're going to be helpful. So that's just my word of advice. We have our Self-Awakening crit Caulifla. 3 more of these. You can use them for energy if you need to. Otherwise, they do provide pretty good value. We have this guy, Kato. Listen, I will never be able to pronounce this name. I'm going to call him Cop Dude, okay? The police officer, because if you look here, it says policeman. Anyway, we got 3 of them. He's pretty good with his on-play, when attacking, and KO'd ability. We have 3 of these that, unless your leader's awakened, I'm using it for combo. I'm not playing it. Doesn't make sense, right? We have 4 Android 17s, but I'm flexing with 3 of the Hollows, because why not? We have 4 of the Son Gohans, 4 Cauliflas, 2 Double Strikers, 2 Beerus, and 4 of the Tournament of Power super combos. 2 Hidden Arrogance that, cycles everything else, but also this insanely stupid card. The strategy, and this is why ToPku's so good. You build your board because any board removal for green doesn't happen until 7 energy, red doesn't happen until 5, blue doesn't happen until 6. So build your board up until 4, right? And say you can play this dude, use his thing to awaken, and now this next card only costs you 1. You also use your ToPku's ability to play Caulifla and then have enough to play another. I don't know how much energy you have, but you have a massive board now. And then you play this stupid card, Clash of the Strongest, that chooses all of your battle cards with Tournament of Power in their special traits, and they get plus 10k. Just, again, I love that we got a counter to like Broly, but like this thing is stupid. It's absolutely stupid. You draw all the right cards. Even if you don't draw the right cards, you're still winning, right? The only time you're losing is if you're going up against ToPku and your opponent's just drawing the right cards. I'm gonna be honest. You guys might not agree with me. It is what it is. You're not losing when you play with this, unless you're getting outdrawn by an alternate player. Let's go to our final red leader, which is Beerus. Pause the screen here, screenshot it if you want. And this thing is pretty goated. I don't think we actually have to go into it for anything, except for this card. Yeah, let's do it. We have our 1-drop Whis, Self-Awakener, another Whis. This is all about negging your opponents, our draw cards. This dude hit, but also Quatella, minus 10k. Really good to also, if you don't draw into any of these, like to reduce their Self-Awakeners, you can just use this guy. We have 4 Kales, because why not, dude? We're trying to really waste our opponent's cards from their hands. We have this Android 17 to buff up our leader, kind of make them a lot stronger. We have 4 Sun Gohans. Honestly, any red deck, you're going to run 4 of these. They're just so good. These are some of the best red cards I've ever seen. We have 2 Sun Goku's Ultra Instincts, the secret rare. As like, why not? It really does help you when you're in a pickle. 2 Beerus to help board wipe, and then we have this guy, Rumeshi. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with 30k or power or less and KO it. Pretty much you knock out anything, right? Let's say you have a hit on the board, like a hit on the board, or pretty much anything, one of these guys, and they have a Broly or a 45k, you use Beerus's ability, minus 10, you use this card, and then you play this, they're gone. Their big boss card is gone with only 5, possibly 6 energy. Tournament of Power here, just to add a little more defensibility, maybe even offensive pressure. And then we have our 2 double strikers. Really well-rounded deck. Does pretty good into ToPku. Like, everything does do well into ToPku. It's just, for consistency, I'd say it's just insane. Tournament of Power Goku is just consistent. Like, it doesn't matter what you draw. You have so many lines of path, but that doesn't mean you're always going to win. Like, all it takes is a better player playing a better deck. And yeah, ToPku doesn't matter how good you are, but that's really any game. Like, seriously. Anyway, let's move into yellow. Let's move into yellow and Frieza. A lot of people have been saying yellow is trash. Yellow's garbaggio. Listen, I think yellow is pretty good. The only thing yellow has lacking is it has no removal. It doesn't have a Beerus, a 5-drop Beerus. It doesn't have a 6-drop Zeno for a board clear. It doesn't have a 7-drop Sun Gohan childhood board wipe for, so those are the things that are kind of an issue for yellow, but yellow's kind of aggro if you do it right. Anyway, this is the deck list. Pause the screen, screenshot it, and let's go into it real quick. We have our 1-drop Zarbon Searcher. We have 3 Bulmas that actually synergize with this leader really well because you can just restand it. This also, very important to note that it activates during battle. So like, if they have 2 cards and they battle, you can activate this and rest one of their cards. And now it kind of works like a 4-drop cooler in a sense. I like it a lot. I recently started using it that way. We have our, draw here, 1-drop Sorbet, our Rester with 10k combo, Frieza. We have 3 Ginyus to help restand energy. If we played this correctly, we have 3 Nays to help self-awaken, but also combo. 4 self-awakening 2-drop Friezas, because staple, let's be honest. 3 Raccoons to help synergize with this. You guys already know what this does. Let's talk about this card that you might not know. You play this, you swing with it, your awakened leader Frieza restands it, and then its ability happens because it's only on your turn, and end of your turn is still, what? Say it with me, your turn. And when this card is switched to active mode by a skill, being your ability or whatever, right? Choose up to one of your opponent's rest mode battle cards with a cost of 4 or less, and they're pretty much frozen. And there's going to be a lot of freezing in this deck. It's probably why it's called Frieza when you think about it. We got this guy to help synergize with the 1-drop Bulma. Also a self-awakener. But if you swing with all your cards, You don't have to worry about Beerus. You don't have to worry about the 7-drop Son Gohan. You still have to worry about Zeno because it doesn't KO your cards, it just bottom decks them. You don't have to worry about Broly's or what's it called? What's the other one? Cell. You don't have to worry about any cards blowing up your cards, right? Because they're just all protected. All you have to do is combo out of it. Keep them rested, you're good. Super valuable card here. We have this just to combat 25k leaders, and for combo we have 3 cooler because this thing is absolutely busted. And one of my favorite brand new cards is this miniature double strike Frieza wannabe. It's not a double striker, but it's a 4-drop 25k power with 10k combo that on play when attacking, choose up to one of your opponent's rest mode battle cards and it can't switch to active. It's insane. You freeze a card on playing and when attacking. It's so strong. It's insanely strong. And then we of course have our 4 double strikers, 1 secret rare, which is kind of valuable depending on what like matchup you're going into, with just rest moding all the 5 drops, right? Like going into green, this is very, very good. And then always keep it rested with this Vegeta on the board and you never have to worry about anything. And then we have our 4 super combos. You notice there's no extra cards. This is all about get the units on the board, build your board, go ham. Keep them rested. They can't remove your units from the board, go ham. It's pretty solid, honestly. I've had some good matchups into ToPku with this, but again, it could just be that those weren't like top tier ToPku players. Anyway, we're going to be talking about ToPku a lot, referencing all these decks to that. Here's another one that does actually insanely well because it's super aggro early on. You can tell there's no double striker. That's just, I'm really excited about this deck, honestly. You guys might like it, you guys might hate it. But right from the staple, this, I guess we can talk about it here. No, I keep saying that. We're going to have to go in. We're going to have to keep going in. We have our 1-drop Zarbon for the search. Frieza 1-drop, 2-drop Self-Awakener. We have this 3-drop Android 18 that, again, on play when attacking. Love that. It rests one of your opponent's battle cards and then switches it. Wow, dude, I just had the biggest brain fart. On play when attacking, you choose one of your opponent's battle cards and you just put it onto rest mode. We have 3 of these because with Cooler's ability, you can technically restand it and activate its ability. We have a 3-drop blocker Meta Cooler. At the end of your turn, you have to switch it to active, so you could swing with it and always have it as a blocker on your opponent's turn. We have 3 coolers. We have 4 4-drop Friezas because, like, come on, this is the bread and butter with the cooler deck. And this is the thing that I think is pretty cool. Again, we have 4 of these Son Goku cards. So good. 2 Supernovas because, again, just very helpful. And then this is the part that I think is really cool. Instead of having the double striker, we have 4 Mecha Friezas that add on to combo because, like, comboing with like this 40k is going to be very valuable. And then this card can bring out the set 1 King Cold, which when KO'd can knock out a 4-drop, or you can bring this bad boy, same attack power, same combo, but has a when a blocking once per turn, switch it back to active, so it could essentially block twice. Pretty solid deck list, honestly. Like, look at that. Let's be honest, that's pretty solid. Moving on, let's go into Yellow Vegeta. Here we go. I love it so much. A lot of people are like, Vegeta's lacking. I think it's so freaking good, you guys. And I'm excited to tell you about it. We have our 1-drop Bulma, our 1-drop Draw, Frieza, Self-Awakening, the Resting, Android 18. And here's another one. This guy just stays on the board. You don't swing with him unless you have your 3-drop of Vegeta on, and you can guarantee it'll be protected in some sort of capacity. But this thing, for 1 energy, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with a cost of 3 or less, which is a lot of ToPku, right? Unless it's Kefla. Not Kefla, Caulifla. Is it Kefla or is it Caulifla? I don't even... The 4-drop, you guys know what I'm talking about. Anyway, you get to rest them, right? And that synergizes so well with this. It synergizes so well with this. We have 3 coolers. We have 1 of these secret rares. We got Jocko as our super combo because we got to flex a little bit. Also, I'm pretty sure... never mind. I thought they had the same design on their shirt here, but oops. Let me get my Jocko back. Anyway, and then we have these cards right here. These extra cards with Vegeta's ability to switch 2 of your rest modes back to active. Insane. This lets you restand one of your coolers to reblock, lets you restand. Honestly, that's pretty much what you want to use it for. Maybe this guy so they don't get attacked, or this guy so he can keep like dishing out. Like it's so valuable, and they get 20k for whoever you're defending, probably your leader. Or this one that gives you plus 25k for free energy because of Vegeta's ability. Or on your turn, this goes crazy into blue and into green because they're the only units that have 6 costs or more, I believe. Well, actually, this guy does too. So yellow as well. But you can just remove them easily. Oh, you played a cell? Buy a cell. You played a double androids? Buy double androids. This shit is busted. It's so good, but it will cost you energy on your turn. That's the only, caveat essentially. But it's a pretty solid deck. Just in case I didn't show, here's the deck list again. Pause it, screenshot it, try it out. Trust me, Vegeta's good. Like 2 energy at the end of your turn, bars. And why are we talking about the best ToPku counter? Listen, I'm kind of trolling, but not really. Like this does incredibly well into ToPku, but also can get wrecked, right? Oh, that's not what I was trying to do. If you're not familiar, we have this guy that becomes a 20k battle power if you have 3 or more Ginyu, and like everything's Ginyu here except for like 2 or 3 cards. We have this guy that restands your energy, freezes a battle card, just a solid 20k vanilla card. The new Ginyu card, which switch this card to rest mode, choose up to 2 of your battle cards with Ginyu Force in their special traits, and give them 5k for power per that turn. So a lot of your Ginyus that are 20k become 25 for just resting this guy. But on top of that, this guy's ability can restand all your Ginyu cards. So essentially you can make them 30k if you really want to get saucy. Play 2 of these cards. Like there's a lot of lines that are pretty insane. Play 2 of those cards, keep them safe for whatever reason. You play it twice, you're looking at 25, 30, you can get 40k, a board of 40k Ginyu cards. It's just like, it's disgusting, right? It's disgusting. And then we have our 2-drop Frieza, 4 Raccoons. This guy, because again, your rested cards are alive. You don't have to worry about a board wipe by turn 5 or anything like that. All you have to do is combo out. 4 of these guys, staple for every single yellow deck. This is such a good card. It's insane the value you get by freezing your opponent. We have 4 of these super combos. Bonds of the Ginyu Force, because if you know, this thing is insane. Imagine doing this guy, right? With that whole tech and everything, and then playing this. Your Raccoon is swinging for 90k. Your Jace is swinging for 90k. It's insane. I opted for this card over the 1-drop Frieza, even though that has combo, because this rests a card, which synergizes with this, but also draws a card, so it helps you draw. Speaking of draw, here's another card that helps you draw, and then here's a card that can just restand one of your cards. Who are we restanding? Oh, this guy, crazy. Yeah, no, it pretty solid deck. Highly recommend it. Here it is again. Pause it, screenshot it, let me know what you think. But that's yellow. I guess we're moving on to who are we moving on to? Blue. We're halfway there, you guys. Halfway there. Thank you so much for sticking around. All right. Vegeta, pretty solid. Let's go into this list. Vegeta got a nasty buff. If you don't know, Vegeta, 7 cards or less in your hand becomes 35k swing. Insane. And then we have Pilaf with the Final Hope / engine. But on top of that, you could bring things like your Bulma, your Mai, your Goten, and your Trunks, right? But let's talk about this Bulma real quick. Actually, we're gonna come back to Bulma because Bulma synergizes with something else that is really good for Vegeta. We have our Self-Awakening 2-drop Goten and our same thing for Trunks. New card, really interesting, Gotenks. On turn 3, you play it, return this card to the owner's hand. You don't even like send it to the drop, you just return it. And then you get to play up to 1 Gotenks with a cost of 4 from your hand. So you can swing with this guy, activate its ability, send this guy out in rest mode, and then also bring back from your drop any of these cards. Pretty insane. And then we have the 2 super rare 3-drop Vegetos. Pretty good with that -1 cost. Could be valuable to bounce. But honestly. It really just depends. It synergizes with this if you get like 2 of them on the board, but nothing too crazy. Now the card I want to talk about is a 0 combo 30k Vegeta, dude. So you play this, and on play, you play your Bulma. You want to make sure your hand size is adequate, so that way Bulma's effect can happen. If you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, one of your Vegeta cards gets plus 10k. Now you're probably wondering, oh, who, like this? Yeah, this guy can become 10k. Or this guy. But now he's at 30. But you could also activate the ability. So you're at a 45k swing. Oh, you think that's it? No, just kidding. This guy's ability, once per turn, if you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, add another 5k. Okay, so now he's at a 50. Oh, you think that's done? No, we're just kidding. Let's combo this. You're at 60. You're swinging 60 by turn 4. Like if you get your opponent, like it's insane. Like this thing really becomes an insane deck. And that's not even counting the fact that this is a 30k swing. It's so good. And then we have 3 of our secret rare Vegetos over the double striker, because instead of bottom decking a 4-drop, you get to return a 5-drop. And I think that's a little bit more valuable. And if you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, this essentially does become a double striker. We have our 4 super combos, 2 sinister sickles to combat ToPku decks, and they're essentially it's like setting up the board. I think blue is really good for control. Like Sinister Sickle is pretty insane. And then Zeno just, hey, you built your board? Sorry, you just wipe the whole thing. Like the value is insane right there. And that's going to be the theme with a lot of these blues, especially you guys. Trunks. Yo, my man Trunks, pause the video here, screenshot it. He was lacking season 1, but season 2, man's had a glow up. We have our 1-drop Zamasu to get rid of, you know, self-awakening Roshis. This guy, 7 cards or fewer in your hand, plus 10k for Trunks' future, right? That means your leader. It means a lot of cards. It means this 2-drop becomes a 40k. That means this becomes a 30k. It's insane. We have our Pilaf, Final Hope / Engine. We have 2 double strikers, and then 2 Vegetos. That just in case, you know. It to really help close things out with a double striker, but also Vegeto gives us combo if we need it. We have 4 Zenos. We're going backwards now. We have our 1-drop. Who else did we not talk about? We have this guy, the 3-drop Vegeto, but also this card is pretty interesting. You choose up to one of your battle cards and reduce its cost by 1. This can really synergize well with this. And if you play enough of these and then play this, you're bouncing like 4 drops, 5 drops. Yeah, maybe even 6 drops if you think about it. If you had 4 of them, I don't know why you would have 4. But also if you needed to, it synergizes with Pilaf. You could bring it back for the 10k combo. 2 Gallic Guns, and then 4 Sinister Sickles. Again, this is a very nice control deck with Trunks' own ability to bounce 3 cards, right? Like cost 3s. So you could, like ToPku's struggling into blue, specifically Trunks. And speaking of blue, let's talk about the new blue leader. Here's the deck. Pause it, screenshot it. This thing is all about the late game. Like it's all about the late game. You want to keep your Zamasu from awakening so you can benefit from the draw as much as possible. You want to build your energy, your board if you can. You want to get this Beerus on board. Speaking of which, let's get to it. What are the new cards first? This guy searches the top 5 of your cards for a Patara card, right? Not this. You get to search for things like this, things like this, things like this, things like this. Maybe even this. Yep, this card. Pretty insane. So pretty good value there. Speaking of which, let's go back to Beerus. I'm jumping ahead of myself. We have our 1-drop pan to help us draw. Once you get Beerus on the board, you're chilling because this thing bounces literally any card after you KO one of your cards. Now, why would you want to KO one of your cards? Because we have a 5-drop here that after you swing and you have 7 or fewer, you can essentially KO your own card after swinging with Beerus, returning a card on the field to the owner's hand, bouncing it, and then playing this insane card. Once this card is on the field, feel free to awaken, brother. Just, you know, you're chilling at that point. The only thing you have to worry about is this possibly, maybe. Nothing else is taking it out. Maybe Maybe you have to worry about like some green removal, but nah, not really. When your opponent plays a battle card, and if you're at 1 life, choose all of your opponent's battle cards and return it to the opponent's to their hand. Man, reading is so hard right now. What the heck? So you return it to the hand. So there's a couple way to cheese this, right? Like you can play a 1-drop and then it bounces because it only happens once per turn, and then they can play, but they need to be at like 9 energy or something to pop this guy. Like it, like you don't really, or even 7 for blue. So it's pretty insane here. And then we have 3 of these cards. We only have 1 of the regular. We have 2 of the alt arts, which is really good to help you draw. And then also if your opponent knocks it out, it just comes right back as a rested body. So there's value there. We have 2 Sinister Sickles, 4 of the Super Combo Supreme Kais, which synergize with this card, the Blades of Judgment, because you can draw into your Super Combo if you need it, or you can draw any other Supreme Kai that you need, like this guy, Supreme Kai, Supreme Kai. What is Zeno? Oh, he's just the universe. I didn't know that. And then this guy's also Supreme Kai. I don't know why you would want to search for that. But yeah, that's the Zamasu blue deck. Let's talk about Goku Black, which arguably had the best buff out of the entire game. As you notice, there's a lot of Gokus, there's a lot of Zamasus, a lot of things are happening here. Let's just briefly go over it. Once you awaken your leader, you can place 1 of your Zamasus from your battle area to the bottom of your deck, and then all your future, or like your next Goku Black plays get reduced in cost by 2. This is super valuable when you have cards like Gowasu that help you search for either of those 2 cards. You have your 1-drop Zamasu that removes another 1-drop. This card to help you search, you can also get rid of your 4-drops because you could easily bring them back. Peel off here to, oh, we don't have the cycle. So peel off really just works with your Mai to help you self-awakening, and this guy, Pan, which isn't bad, right? Like you still get some value out of it. Here's a new one, Zamasu. If you have Goku Black battle card, this card can't be KO'd, which is great with the ability, right? But on play, you look at the top 5 cards and reveal up to 1 Goku Black and add it to your hand. The rest, put it in bottom of your deck, random order, right? We have this 2-drop SR Zamasu, which can't be removed by your opponent's skill, so you can just leave it on the board, not worry about anything, and then activate your ability. Like there's so many, like by turn 4, you can almost guarantee if your Zamasu's awakened. I'm just kidding. If your Goku Black leader is awakened, you can almost guarantee that you're going to be able to play this card with the ability if this is on the field. We have 3 of them, but here's another really cool card. Goku Black, when attacking, look at the top 3 cards of your deck and play up to 1 Zamasu with the cost of 1. And we have 1, 2, I guess we could have more, but we have a lot of 8 possible choices, and I think that's pretty valuable, to be honest. We have 2 Vegeta, just to help bounce. We have 4 4-drop Goku Blacks that bounce 2 costs. Just kidding, they don't bounce them, they bottom deck them. I guess that's what I should be saying, not bounce for the bottom decks. There's 3 of the Zamasu fused 4-drops, and basically these 4-drops are here to synergize with this guy. But once you play him, you know what it does. Bring a 4-drop from your drop back to your hand. When attacking, if you have 7 or fewer, you just play it for free. There's a lot of inherent value there. We have 4 super combos, and then we have these cards. Fusion of Evil Power. Place 1 Goku Black and 1 Zamasu card from your hand or your battle area to the bottom of your deck. This card for 3 energy literally says, yeah, take this card if you want. This card doesn't matter. Maybe even this card or this card, right? If it's turn 3. And yeah, you get to draw 3 cards. Oh, also play this from your hand. The amount of value you get from this 3-drop card for Goku Black is insane. Like if it was from your battle area, it inherently wouldn't be that great, but from your hand too, yeah, yes please. Crazy stuff. So I think personally blue is looking really good. There's not a single leader in blue where I'm like, man, that's kind of tough. They got ripped apart here. Honestly, every leader is looking pretty good. But now let's go to our final color group, green. And people are saying, oh, green is no longer king. And let me tell you, it still is really good. I don't think you guys need any introduction to how Broly works, right? Here's the deck list, screenshot it, pause it here. But let's talk about the new cards. That's what I want to talk about for Broly. Let's talk about the new cards. We have this Paragus BR 2-drop that when KO'd, if you have 6 or more energy, you can add up to 1 Broly from your drop to your hand. Now this is just inherently good because you have a 20k on the board that you can swing with, and your opponents are eventually gonna have to knock it out, or they don't, but you still have that power, right? Now you could bring this guy back, right? But why is he in your drop unless some shenanigans happened with your Son Goku and you were using your instant Kamehameha to switch this card from energy to your drop? The card I'm talking about is this 10k combo right here. You can combo with it and get it back, combo with it, get it, you know what I'm saying? It's pretty solid. Really good for removing a card on your side and your opponent's side, sending it to the energy, further helping ramp. We have, of course, the secret rare to help eliminate a ToPku board states. What else are some new cards that we have? I think that's pretty much it. Everything else is the same. This card is insane to me, and no one is really talking about it. Orin Tower is the type of the card. That's not the card's name. It's Senzu Bean. Why did I read it like that, man? Anyway, for 5 energy, for Broly specifically, you get to add life. You get to add life. Like by turn 5, by turn 6, if you have this dude on the board and you can keep him there, and you can combo out of things, or you have energy open for this and this, you can literally get your Broly back up to like 4 or 5, and then start playing your heavy hits. Like it's insane, and no one's really talking about it. This thing is cracked. It's a late game. All of these that you're gonna see next are all late game. So what that means is, I guess I can show it real quick again. Early game, you're gonna want to use these smaller cards to combo out of attacks, and even if your opponent like self-awakens first, it's fine. You're playing for the late game. You're playing for your energy to being at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's okay to like combo out early, specifically for green, I think. Maybe even for Zamasu, to be honest. But let's go into androids, who arguably might have been the most blessed from set 1 to receive these upgrades. For set 2, it's actually insane. I'm excited about this one. Again, I don't think these need an introduction, but we have this guy that helps you search top 5 cards for Android 17 or Android 18. We have our drawing Goku, our Android 18 that also draws but discards. But then this guy right here, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 Android 18 or up to 1 extra card and add it to your hand, which means any of these extra cards, including Jiro's Lab, or check this out, this 2 double androids, because they have Android 18 in the name, I am like 99% sure, still need to check me, it could be a bug, right? I'm pretty sure that the app lets you search for those too, because it has it at the name. It's a slash, so it's considered Android 18, which is insane value. We have a 3-drop here, 25k Android 17, but we also have the same thing that's a crit, just a little reduction in combo. We have another self-awakener. Actually, this might be our only self-awakener here, but it helps us play in Android 17 from our drop, right? And this double android, the 4-drop double android, is insane. You place 2 cards from your energy to your drop, and then if your leader is Android 17, add up to 3 cards with android in their special traits from your drop to your energy. It doesn't say in rested mode. That means you get 3 energy, live energy back. You guys, like, what? That's insane. That's insane. Then we have our double striker, android here, super combo, because why not? 3 Broly, 2 gigantic meteors. But let's talk about this new card. This is Earth Destroying Blow. Honestly, weird name, but we'll go with it. Choose your leader up to 1 of your battle cards and it gets 25k power for the battle. Then, if you have 6 or more energy, look at the top card of your deck and add it to your hand or to your energy in rest mode. So like on your opponent's turn, if you're at like 6, right, you can use this, get to 7, then your following turn, you get to play a card, get to 8, and then play a Broly from 6 to 8. It's actually insane. So Android, pretty good spot, not gonna lie. Who we got? Cell. I don't understand Pause, screenshot. I don't know why people are saying Cell isn't good. Cell is insane. I just specifically want to talk about this one line of path here. We have Bulma 10k, helps you draw. We have a lot of these cards that help you search and draw, right? These 4 specifically, because you need this. You need this card on the field by turn 4. You get this card on the field and you switch it to rest mode. You look at the top card of your deck and you get to add it to your hand or your energy. Now, something is weird about this in the client. I'm pretty sure it's a bug. Other people have said it's a bug as well. But if you choose a card to go to your hand, it reveals it to your opponent, but it doesn't actually have those words in the card. So I don't think you're supposed to actually reveal. So that is something, be aware. Like if you're choosing a card to go to your hand, your opponent is going to see it for whatever reason. That's annoying. We have 2 destructive strengths because just in case we don't, for whatever reason, get this, and 2 gigantic meteors, right? Pretty awesome stuff. Let's talk about some other new cards. On play, if you have 5 or more energy, add up to 1 card top of your deck to your energy in rest mode. Then if a 5-drop gets like murked, this card gets an extra 10k. Here's your Son Gohan Future. I love this card. All of your battle cards with a cost of 3 can't be removed from the battle area by your opponent's skills. So like KOs or even removals, meaning this counters, this does really well against like Zeno or any sort of board wipe or your 3 drops, right? But you don't have many. You have literally just these. So it's not like super valuable. It's kind of valuable. And then choose one of these. Play up to 1 battle card with a cost of 3 or less from your hand at the end of your turn, which is your Trunks Future. Or choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards with a cost of 3 or less and KO it, which means ToPku, watch out, watch out. And then here we go. We have our double androids, Yamcha, super combos. One of these 5-drop board removals. It's not a 5-drop, but it removes 5 drops. That's what I call it. We have 1 Broly, because why not? But then we also have 3 cells. Now, people are like, yo, Cell's horrible. It removes 3 energy in order to play it. Check this out. Let me run some math by you. Your Leaders Awaken. You have some Cell Games Arena on the board. You have 8 energy. You play this. You get a life added to your life pool. Insane value already. You pop 2 cards on your opponent's side. But now you're dropped down to 5 energy. Oh no, guess what? You're at 5 exactly. Proc this ability. Now you're at 6. Guess what? Proc this ability. Now you're at 7. You end your turn. Opponent's turn. It's back to your turn. You charge this for whatever reason. You're back at 8. Let's play another one. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's insane. It's insane. People are like, oh no, that's such a bad ability. If played correctly, it's supposed to be played with this on the board. If you don't have this on the board, yeah, you probably don't want to play it, to be honest. But yeah, such a good card and a strong leader, to be honest. Which brings us to the final leader of today's video. God, I've been talking nonstop for how long? I'm gonna need some water or something after this. Pretty standard. There's nothing new in this except 2 cards. I don't even really have to go into it. We have our Chi-Chi that helps us search for Son Gohans or Son Gokus of any cost, which means this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. I don't know why you want to search for those, but mainly your Cellkus, your 5-drop Gohans to help pop a 4-drop, or even your secret rares. Super valuable there. We have 4 Brolys. We have 3 double strikers, 4 destructive strengths. 2 of these. Pretty standard stuff. There's nothing really new here except for the Chi-Chi and the Senzu Bean. This thing is cracked. I'm telling you. Oh, you're at 5 energy now? Let's just add life back. You could essentially get up to 6. 6, yeah, you get up to 6 while being awake. And your opponent's like, what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? They can't do anything. It's so good. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. Let me know which decks you're excited to try out. And don't forget to have fun. Later.